Hi everyone. Hi everyone. I'm going to inform you all about animal rights. Animals, like people, have feelings. They feel pain, sorrow, and even joy. So, why is the question, are animals treated the way that they are? Just because animals can't tell us what they feel doesn't mean they don't. Just close your eyes for a moment. Just think if you were one having makeup and other products tested on you. Imagine and close your eyes a sec that you're in a cage giving little food and little water each day, just enough food to stay alive. You're hungry, you're dirty, and you're miserable. Now open your eyes again and come back to reality. So, well, that's how it feels like for an animal. And a product testing in a facility is extremely unfair. Animals should have the same equal rights just as we do. These days, animals are misused and mistreated all the time. Thousands of cats and dogs are used sustained by the hands of animal services and found out that they euthanize between 75 to 100 animals per day. They didn't even hesitate to give me a number. At Animal Services, it's no longer about the animal. It's about money. But Animal Services is not the only place where they mistreat and abuse animals. The shelters are big with elephant abuse. Elephants get extremely harsh beatings and electric shocks. With dogs, they're underground. They're underground dog fighting, which is extremely cruel and inhumane. Many dogs are made to fight to their death, which is extremely cruel and brutal. Another mistreatment is many animals are allowed to be hunted, and many animals are hunted just spur. Hunting causes many extinctions. The only animals who are no longer hunting are the ones in danger species list. The question is, how do you think they get to the danger species list in the first place? Well, many people who neglect and mistreat animals get little jail time for their actions. That the consequences mistreating and neglecting animals and just some cruelty to those animals. Animals are abused and killed for many reasons and socially purposes. What is socially acceptable versus from one culture to the next? While we find this morally wrong, some cultures find eating cows to be extremely offensive. What animals go through and every culture and every country is wrong. Animals are used for unnecessary clothing, testing, and many more inhumane things. Just imagine if we humans were used for all these purposes. and products. Animals are used and abused because they cannot speak our language and because it's harder to defend themselves against us. Treating a non-human animal differently just because the animal belongs to a different species is wrong. There's a difference between humans and non-human animals, but those differences are morally irrelevant. For example, many people believe humans to have abilities that are different from or higher than other animals. But the abilities is not morally relevant. If it were, the smartest human would have the moral and the intelligence right or legal rights than these other animals who are deemed. In my opinion, if a dog is capable of suffering, a dog is worthy. Of our moral consideration, some animals, such as apes, are extremely intelligent and act the same way as we do. So why deny them their freedom or their welfare? The basic principle of quality doesn't require equal or inequity treatment and requires equal consideration. This is an important role when talking about animal rights. People ask the question, should animals have the right to live? What do you think? And the answer simply is yes. Animals surely deserve the right to live. They deserve the right to live their lives free from suffering and exploration. The question is not can they reason, nor can they talk about, but can they suffer? And this message points out for the capacity of suffering as the verdict that gives a mean the right to equal in consideration. All animals have the ability to suffer in the same way and into some degree. That humans do, they feel pain, pleasure, fear, frustration, loneliness, and motherly love. Whenever we consider doing something that would interfere with their needs, we are morally obligated to take them into our account. Myself and other animal rights supporters believe that animals have an inherent worth, a value completely separate from their usefulness to humans. I believe that every creature with the will to live has a right to live free from pain and suffering. And only prejudice allows us to deny us from others the rights that we expect to have for ourselves. Whether it is passed on, race, sexual orientation, prejudice is morally unacceptable. In conclusion, I feel animals should be entitled to rights. Animals have the rights to be free of representation, confident, use, and abuse by humans just because we have a high intellect. Doesn't mean we are any better than they are. And I believe that animals deserve the right not to be hunted, abused, neglected, and killed, just as we do. Thanks for listening.